Hello guys and welcome to Ezzi-UK, and today I have a review video from patch 10.0 on the test server. And as you can see, this is one of the new tanks being added into the game, the Centurion Action 10. So to kick it off, I'll just show you guys a brief view of some of the new tanks that might be coming up in patch 10.0. Bearing in mind this is the test server, so any stats or any numbers that you see or any tanks can change, may change quite possibly. It all depends on what the feedback is from the test server. So we'll start off by having a look at some of the new American tanks. So to start off, we have the T3 HMC, which is replacing the T18, which has now become an artillery piece. So no longer do we have to face against the T18, which is ridiculously overpowered. We have to face against whatever this box thing is. Tier 3 tank destroyers wise in the American tech tree. Remember the Tier 2 artillery in the American tech tree? Well, it is now the T56 GMC tank destroyer at Tier 3. I think the gun is pretty similar, I can't remember, but they've put this weird cladding thing around it so that the armour's not overpowered, so you can easily penetrate up here. I think that's only about a millimetre thick. The new American Tier 2 artillery, which replaced the previous one which I just shown you, is this weird cute looking tank thing. I don't really know what it is. Well, I do. It's basically a T1 chassis, so the Tier 1 American light tank, and what they've done is built a box around it and put this big gun on which looks like an old-fashioned cannon from some kind of wooden battleship. Don't really know how this plays. I can't face queuing up to play it because, well, there's not enough people on the test server. But anyway, one of the other ones is, as I've just shown you, the T18. This is now an artillery piece at Tier 3. Similar stats to what it used to have, I think, but well, it's now an artillery piece. T82, this is the new Tier 4 artillery piece. It's basically, I think that's an M3 chassis with a completely retrofitted top section, which is with a big whopping gate gun, some ammo storage and things, and lots of thin armour. And I think that's it from the Americans. I won't go into much detail. You guys can pause the video and have a look at the stats because I can't face going through these tanks. Carry on along the list. In the Russian tech tree, there is a new replacement for the IS-8. I'll just find that. Here it is. T18. T10, sorry. T10, new replacement for the IS-8. Looks quite similar to the IS-8 / IS-4. Tier 10, T10 Tier 9 Russian heavy tank. Hull armour 120mm sloped. It's actually weaker on the lower plate. 210 on the turret, 120 on the side for the hull, 129 on the side of the turret, 90 on the rear of the turret, and 60 on the rear of the hull. Haven't really had time to play this tank. I'll just show you guys the top turret on it. There you go. 250mm of armour on the front of that turret and more on the side, 201 and 50 on the rear. So that's the turret upgrade for this tank. I don't know much about this tank. I honestly haven't had time to play it yet. Bearing in mind this test server is only open until the 11th of October, which is this Sunday, so you guys ought to try and get on as soon as possible. I think I might leave a link in the video description below. So that's the new Tier 9 Russian heavy tank. It's not too bad, I don't think. Standard hit points, standard weight. Just upgrade the engine. 750 horsepower, which isn't much power. 50km top speed, or OK traverse, 28 degrees per second. Shell damage, about average for a Russian tank. Rate to fire is about 5 rounds per second, touch reverse 26 degrees, view range, etc, etc, and the accuracy of the gun is yet again, like all Russian tanks, quite bad. Anyway, back to the crown jewel, which is the Centurion Action 10. As I did say previously, this tank is absolutely fantastic. It's so well balanced, it's just perfect, it's so smooth to play. I don't really know how a tank can be any more better. I remember playing the Centurion Mark 7-1, which is the tier 9 version of this, without this turret, and I thought that was pretty smooth and really nice to play, but then you got this tank which just blows that thing out the water, and just the detailing on it is absolutely fantastic. Let's get down to the statistics side of this tank. 1,950 hit points, 55.3 tons, which is pretty heavy, and it's nice healthy hit points as well. This is helped with a 1,040 horsepower engine, which just makes this tank shift fairly decently. Sort of between a fast medium and a heavy tank sort of performance. Traverse speed 50 degrees per second on the hull, 48 degrees per second on the turret. The armour profile of this tank is 198mm at the front of the turret, 152 at the side, and 95 at the rear. The hull, on the other hand, has 120mm at the front, 50 on the side, and 31 on the rear. Overall thoughts on the armour. Well, you do have the normal standard weak spot at the top, which is the commander's hatch just here. Everybody knows to shoot there, and you've also got the weak spot at the bottom here with the lower plate. Anywhere here on the side, if you're shooting with anything but high explosive and heat, it's going to penetrate, and the same on the rear. Some tanks sometimes struggle on the turret if they hit it about here or anywhere here, because it's sloped, and here as well. And they occasionally just sort of ricochet off or just don't quite penetrate. So if we have a look at this tank, as you can see, it's all nice and sloped right up here, and the gun depression is absolutely fantastic. If you play this tank with either hold down tactic at long range, or sort of a long range, medium range, popping up over the hill like you do in the AMX CDC, you sort of pop the top of the turret over the hill, and about this much of the armour on the upper plate, where the cursor is, about that much of the armour actually pokes over the hill, but it is also sloped at an angle of about that when you are poking up over the hill, which means that the armour is effectively about 300mm thick, which means it's an automatic ricochet. I don't think any tanks can penetrate the front of this tank. If you get the angling right, you can't penetrate this upper plate. Whereas with the turret, even if you poke the top over, if you only poke this bit over, most tanks are going to struggle to penetrate the 198mm of armour, because this is nice and well sloped. I think it's sloped at 30 degrees from the horizontal, which is just absolutely fantastic. This lower bit though, here and here, are where most tanks like to shoot you, because, well, you can penetrate this. This is 198mm, slightly sloped, so it's about 230, maybe a bit more, around here and here. Just weaker than this part of the turret, so if you are aiming by popping up the top of the tank over the hill, most of the time you're going to get hit up here, which means that it's an automatic ricochet, but if you're unlucky enough to get hit here, it does still normally penetrate. Talking about penetration, we'll just have a look at the gun. 105mm caliber, about 7 rounds per minute, that's with a rammer and 100% crew. Standard APCR, which is this ammunition, has 268mm of penetration, 390 average damage. Heat, which has 330mm of penetration, is the premium ammunition, and it does about 390 average damage. High explosive, 105mm of penetration and 480 average damage. The dispersion at 100 meters is 132, which makes this gun one of the most accurate guns in the game, besides I think on the Waffen-Träger E100 and the Leopard 1 and tanks like that, which it's just absolutely overpowered. But anyway, the penetration on this gun is accurate to about, I'd say, anywhere between 500 and 700 meters depending on the target you're shooting at, so it's pretty good at those distances. Aim time 2.1 seconds. This can be improved with the I think it's gun lane drive and better crew skills and various things like that. View range 410 meters. Signal range 750 meters. View range and signal range can be improved with crew and various other add-ons and things. And yeah, that is the Centurion Action 10. Do love this tank. It's just so well balanced. It just plays really smoothly. It's just, I urge all of you guys to just download the test server before it's shut on October the 11th, this Sunday, and get your hands on one of these and just have a go. Just before I show you guys some replay footage of the tank in action, I'll just show you guys some of the other features that are in the new test server, which are, if we have a look on exterior, here it is. There is this god-awful new layout, which to be honest I don't really like, but anything you add on now adds on special abilities to this bonus major qualification thing. So at the moment the camouflage, no matter which one I'm in, gives me a 5% bonus to vehicle concealment. So I've added that on for all of the camouflages. Emblems also have the benefit, so this one's plus 1% to your crew skills. What else have we got? Plus 1% to your commander skill, driver skills, loader skills. You've got all sorts of skills. So the one I have on, which is my standard one, is horse one, which is 2% to the radio operator, and then I also have the strikes, which is another 2% to the gunner. So that gives you extra perks. And then if we go back here, we've got inscriptions, which also do a similar job, but they just add 1% to the crew overall. Here you go. Bonus to major qualification of all crew members, 1%. Which I do actually like, but I don't like this new weird layout. It's a pain in the neck to use. Also, other thoughts. There isn't really much different. They've changed the colour of this, I think. And that's about it. There isn't really much difference. Missions, they're in Russian, so I don't really know what the difference between these are. Somebody might be able to tell me, and there's no current special missions. So as this, I do have an issue with the test server, but we'll get back to that later in the video. So let's go and have a look at a few replays. For this first replay, I'm just going to show you guys the uphill driving capabilities of this tank. Currently we're doing the top speed of about 53. Yeah, there we go, 53. Slowing down a bit as we start to go up the hill. This is a pretty steep hill. 52, 51, slowing down, 50, 49, slowing down a lot, 40, 37, 34, 33. So around about the 34 mark, and then we get back to the top of the hill and we start accelerating. For this next replay, as you can see, this is that 98 degree per second rotation if you rotate the hull and the gun at the same time, so you can keep that gun pointed at any tank that's trying to drive around your rear, and you should be able to take them out with, well, quite easily, to be honest. We're just going to head over to, well, quite a nice camping spot as it is. So just down here it's J1/H1. Absolutely fantastic camping spot, and I've found with this tank that playing from the back seems to work pretty well. So just skip forwards a bit, and there we go. Here comes an enemy heavy. Just missed because that stupid Foch was in the way. Can we hit him? Can we hit him? No, not loading fast enough. But anyway, I found this tank seems to work well at about 400 meter range. You've still got the penetration, as you just saw. It's harder for tanks to detect you, and you can also use your armour more effectively. So here we go, we're at another range again. Managed to hit an FV215B183 at just over 400 meters range. Go hit him again, no. Bearing in mind we're trying to hit that tiny little commander's hatch on the top of that tank. That's all that's exploded. Missed again, he just moved. But yeah, I'm on another map. I'm hiding in a bush. And this tank does this really well. All you have to do is hide behind cover, and when you shoot, make sure that there's some cover between you and the enemy, and you'll never get spotted. This tank's more of a, I'd say, hunting tank. Friendly spots them, you just sit, wait, and then you fire at them. Well, it's less of a hunting tank, I'd say. Well, it's a hunting and sniping tank. You snipe from a long range, give support to your friendly team by, well, sniping from a long range, and the enemy doesn't know where you're from. But also, the manoeuvrability of this tank allows you to hunt down other enemy tanks and take them out. Just going to take out the Waffenträger 100 and get him again. Oh, another track. 2 tracks in a row, and reload. And we took out the Waffenträger E100. So back to hiding in the bush, see if we can spot anything. I don't think the view range is quite good enough to look right across the field, but I'm not too sure about that. Can't seem to see anything, so let's fast forward a little. So here is the T10, the replacement for the IS8, sorry. We just managed to get one shot in the front. Can we get another one in? I don't know. No, that didn't kill him. Oh, he managed to dodge that one. As you can see, the accuracy of this gun is very, very impressive. Except for I am the issue here. I thought he was behind some cover which I could shoot. Turns out he was behind a dirt mound. So it's never ever going to hit, so I let the gunner aim at the commander's hatch, which does pay in dividends.
They're knocked out.
And there you go, that just goes to show that if you let this gun aim, it will just do the job. There's no way around it, there's no other words. It will just easily shoot the other tanks. Look, that was a half aim shot, didn't penetrate, missed the weak spot, but if I let that aim, I would have penetrated. Just fast forwarded to when I'm shooting at the Waffenträger E100. I miss because I didn't let the gun aim again. So I look for other targets. There's no other targets around. So can I get the Waffenträger? Don't let it aim again. Not quite fully aimed. Hit his track. Can I reload in time? No, not going to reload in time, so the reload does let me down ever so slightly. Just miss out on a nice shot into the side of a Waffenträger E100. Can I get him again? No. Missed it. No, I'm not going to get him again. So I'll fast forward to when the Waffenträger E100 has been shot, and I'm going to relocate because all the enemy are on the hill, and this will show you guys how fast this machine accelerates. I'm already at 38, 40 kilometers an hour, 50 kilometers an hour now. Still accelerating, and I'm at the top speed of 53. And that just goes to show that even though this tank's 55 tons, its power to weight ratio is about 19 horsepower per ton from that 1040 horsepower engine, it still shifts. It's not slow, it accelerates pretty well, it's just the top speed is quite low. See if we can get this guy. No, I'm not going to get this guy, he's not going to play ball and move back. Nope. So this was more of a passive game in this tank, just showing you guys how this tank can hunt down and snipe and just pick off individual enemy targets, and you'll do pretty well. So what we'll do is wait for this game to end, and we'll head over to a rampage game which I played in the Centurion, which went pretty well. So here we are, Rampage mode on the new Paris map. This was the first time I've been on this map, and so I thought this tank's got pretty good armour. It's not very good at brawling because it's not a heavy tank, so I thought I'd go down to the bottom of the map, which is actually the top of the map, but it's downhill, where there's a bit more open ground, and I can use the range and the distance of some of the bushes down here for my advantage. Oh look, there's the Eiffel Tower destroyed. Didn't actually happen like that in real life, I don't think. So first I start off in the bushes at the back here and just get myself nestled in there and sort of play a passive sort of sniping role as I did in the last game, but I decided to go and look at the Eiffel Tower and move up a bit because I can't quite see the E100 and it's just appeared. So I'm going to get behind this fortification here, some wall thing, and it's just the right height that only my turret is visible, but then there's somebody put a whopping great piece of concrete in the way. Turns out you can't actually destroy that piece of concrete. So I penetrate the E100, no, it bounced, but I still hit at 500 meters. Couldn't quite shoot at his lower plate though because it was hidden. So scan around for more targets, take another look at that beautiful, well, map making. And I thought I may as well show you guys the more active role that this tank can play. So if you're bored of being a hunter or a sniper sat at the back of the map supporting your team, you can just go ahead and drive on in. And I just found this really nice tunnel down here, and I'm going to show you guys the turning capabilities of this tank so you can weave in and out of all these objects pretty well. Just look at that nice smooth driving from this tank, and the gun stays pretty level. Come up the hill, very little loss in speed, and I decided to support the FV215B as this tank is more of a support tank. It's not really a long range tank. I did consider going up there and helping those guys and show you guys the popping up that I explained earlier, where you just pop the top of the turret over the mount. Then I realised that the E50 and the T49 were in big trouble. This is where the enemy T49 comes charging down the hill. There we go, I missed. I shot stupidly. He hits the other T49, he doesn't quite kill him, so I'm going to go after him. Lock onto him, one shot in. Not too fast, I'm accelerating just as fast as he is. I'm catching up actually. Second shot in, and the friendly T49 finishes him off. And that is the end of that. I turn around and realise that the Jagdpanzer E100 is coming down the hill, and I thought to myself, oh yes, I could use this T49 for cover, but I forgot that when they respawn they explode. So I see the E100 on our teams being pummeled by the Jagdpanzer E100, so I hide in these bushes, and this tank seems to be quite a stealthy tank. Hit a weak spot, managed to do some damage. I wait for him to turn again, and come on, and I track him. There we go, he is tracked, and because my reload's quite high, I can keep him permanently tracked while I just kill him, and there's nothing he can do. And that is the end of the Jagdpanzer E100. So I turn around and notice that the friendly E100 near that point there, near A8, is in trouble. There's a backchat, I shoot on the move, backchat's took out the E100. This just shows you that this gun isn't very good at shooting when not fully aimed. Can I hit him again? No, but that nice smooth ride means I can shoot on the move pretty well. I'm racing down here, the backchat seems to be reloading, so hopefully I can get around this corner. This manoeuvrability really does help, and I shoot him in the face. The enemy Centurion Action X appears to have lost connection, which is one of the major problems in the test server at the moment. People just lose connection, it says please wait, and then you get killed by people which haven't lost connection, such as myself. Crash into a wall because I'm stupid. Anyway, I crashed into another wall. That shot hit because I wasn't moving and the gun aimed slightly, so this gun doesn't really shoot well on the move, so I would advise you'd stop at a distance and take out enemy tanks. And then all I have to do is sit here and just shoot at him. There's another shot. And he's been taken out. Time to move on to the T-57 Heavy. Shot in the side. Managed to get an airstrike, so I thought, oh yeah, I'll drop an airstrike on him, which works pretty well, to be honest. Shoot him again. Go on, airstrike. Oh, no, no, no. T-10 again. T-10. Oh, and he penetrated me. I'm not behind this wall. Come on, get behind the wall. I'm stupid. Can I track him? I need to track him before he gets to the flag. Easily one-shot track. No problems with that. Can I track him again? He bounces off my turret because I'm behind this wall using the cover. Here we go. I'm hulled down. He's going to struggle to penetrate unless he manages to hit my weak spot, which he just did. Track him again. Friendly come in and help me out. Shoot his lower plate. Got an artillery strike. Can I shoot him again? Or is somebody going to take him out? And he's been rammed to death. And then I get hit by an airstrike and live on 9 health. But anyway.
Our fuel's hit. We've lost half our gas.
Got some artillery on the AMX, which is now AFK because he lost connection. And that is basically the end of the game. And it just goes to show that this tank can also work in close quarters as long as you keep the speed up. So I hope that gameplay was useful to you guys, and we'll just have a quick review after this.
Package is home. One flag closer to victory.
So how did that go? Well, that was a fantastic game. That was one of the best games I have ever played in this tank. I did 7,907 damage, which was absolutely fantastic, to be honest. And it just goes to show, even in my hands, this tank is just, it's just perfect. It's exactly what I want out of a tank. It suits my playstyle just how I like it. Not too fast, not too slow. It's got the right amount of armor, not too little. The gun's not ridiculously slow at reloading. It's got enough penetration. It's just an all-round fantastic tank. It's not overpowered. I doubt it'll even be nerfed, to be honest. It's just people are going to love this tank. I hope you guys also find the review quite useful. This is the end of the video. I hope you like, subscribe, comment in the section below, and oh yeah, and also don't forget to check out the test server. You can find the link in the video description below, or just visit your World of Tanks or Wargaming website, and it should be on there in one of the latest news threads. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.